All right, guys, what we want to talk about is the infield fly rule. And I'm hoping that by trying to teach the concept of the infield fly, it'll help you guys better remember it instead of trying to remember the specifics of what an infield fly is. Okay, so let's look at this for a second. All right. So for an infield fly, what we need to remember, I'm just going to create some notes here for you. Infield fly notes. Okay. The purpose of an infield fly, all right, the purpose of an infield fly is to prevent an easy double play turned by the defense. Okay, you want to prevent the easy double play turned by the defense. And it is designed, one second. The infield fly is designed to protect the base runners, not the batter runner. Okay, and I'll show you on the screen here in a minute to help you better understand this. But it's to prevent an easy double play by the defense, basically where the base runners have no say. I mean, they're kind of trapped by the situation. So for it to be in effect, you need to have less than 2 outs. You need to have runners on first base and second base, or bases loaded. Now, a lot of people get confused and think a runner on first by himself is enough for an infield fly, and that isn't. And we'll let you know why here in a minute, okay? Now, the other thing about an infield fly, it needs to be caught by the infield with reasonable effort. So what does reasonable effort mean? Well, to me, it means the infielder would never have to turn his back to catch the ball, and that the infielder can get underneath the ball and is not catching the ball on the run. So in theory, then infielder can go out to left field. If he can back put out to left field, camp under the ball, and make the catch, it would be an infield fly. Also, the question is sometimes asked, can an outfielder catch an infield fly and it still be an infield fly? And the answer is yes. If the outfielder, say the outfielder's playing shallow, right fielder's playing shallow, they hit a pop fly, the right fielder calls the second baseman off for the fly ball, makes the catch. If in the umpire's mind or judgment, the infielder could have made that same catch with reasonable effort, the infield fly is still in effect. Okay. Another pretty important point is you cannot have an infield fly on a bunt ball. So, just say, for example, we had a bases loaded, and for whatever reason, the coach decides he wants to suicide squeeze or whatever. The ball goes in the air, pop fly, and the runner thinks, oh, no, the pitcher's going to catch it. I don't want to get doubled off, and zooms back to third base. The pitcher can let the ball bounce, force him at home, then maybe turn another out at the forced play at third. So you cannot have an infield fly on a bunt ball, and that's an important one. If it can happen and a player remembers it, it's really good to know. All right. So let's see. I'm going to add another screen here. So let's talk about this on the field. All right. So what I want to do is explain why we don't have an infield fly. Excuse me. Why we don't have an infield fly on a just on the runner on first base. Okay. So let's say here we go. We got our infield, pitcher's mound. So if we have a runner on first base only, okay, and we've got our shortstop, it can be anywhere on the infield, right? Second baseman, third baseman, pitcher, first baseman. All right. So, but this is who we're focusing on, the runner. If the ball goes up to the pop fly goes to the infield, that can be caught with reasonable effort. The only way the infield could turn a double play is if the batter runner is not running hard to first base. So if the second baseman lets the ball bounce, he can get the lead out. Okay, he can get the lead out for sure, but he shouldn't be able to turn double play. unless the batter doesn't hustle. And we don't want the rules to protect the batter who doesn't hustle. So if there's a fly ball or a pop fly on the infield, right? If there's a pop fly on the infield and the batter runner doesn't run, the second base with one out or nobody out and runner just on first, the second baseman or whoever, the infielder can let it drop and turn a double play because they don't want to reward the batter for not hustling. So you're always giving one out on the infield fly, but it's never in this situation. If we have, let's see here, get rid of some of this. If we had runners at, let's go with runners at, so this is the infield fly situation with runner at first and runner at second. Now in this case, if you have a pop fly on the infield, anywhere on the infield here, the runners are at the mercy of the ball. They can't do anything. So they can't, they can't hustle, or they just got to let the play develop. So if an infielder, say the shortstop in this case, lets the ball bounce, he can get a force out at third, turn around and get the double the runner up at second. And that runners wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So that's why you have the infield fly rule in effect, is to protect these base runners. So the infield fly has to be either first and second, right? Runners at first and second, whoops. Or you can have bases loaded. All right, now, other key points. There's two more key points we've got to keep in mind. On an infield fly, if you've got an infield fly situation like this, let's just say that we've got runners on first and second, okay? Let's say that the shortstop lets the ball drop. The umpire's called infield fly. Let's say the base runners, maybe the shortstop's a student of the game and wants to try and get an easy out. The base runners, when they see the ball drop, they don't know the rules. They both take off for the lead bases. Okay, so the shortstop gets it. The infield fly is called the batter out. So the batter here, that's one out on the play. All right, so the shortstop throws the ball to the third baseman. Now, what the third baseman has to remember is that since the batter is out on the call, if the runners try to advance, this now becomes a tag play. So I've seen it happen before. We all have, I'm sure. Runners trying to advance the play before the pitch is made. It's a force out at third on a ball that hits the ground. But if they call infield fly and the batter's out, that means they're running at their own risk. They're not being forced. It becomes a tag play. Okay, so keep that in mind. So we go back one. If the defense lets the ball bounce, let the ball drop, need to remember that it now becomes a tag play. All right. Now it becomes a tag play. Conversely, if the ball drops, the base runners can't panic. They need to know that they can remain at their bases. All right, so in this situation, let's get back to where we were. Okay. So we still got the batter with one out. Infield, we had the runner and the runner. If the second baseman lets the ball drop, base runners have to keep their cool and stay on their base. They've got to know that it is no longer, that they're no longer forced to go. So, kind of in short, that is kind of an overview of the infield fly. Keep in mind that the infield fly is designed so the defense team cannot convert an easy double play or cheap double play, and that it is designed to protect the base runners and not the batter runner. All right, until next time, next rule, signing off.